I don't want to make that part of it. What'd you say?
I said you want to race?
Let's go.
God bless you.
God bless you too, my brother. Have a good one.
That looks beautiful, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You have a good one, man. Huh?
Looks real nice, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Compliment a man on his car. That's a nice car, brother. God bless
It means a lot. It really does. Thank you, brother. You have a good one, man.
you. Keep on doing what you do, bro.
You better believe it. You too. Thanks, bro. Just got a little love from Zeus. This doggone thing, man. But anyway, that was kind of cool. Brother said he don't usually get no man compliments about his car, but he can do it with this one. It means a lot, man. That means a lot. I put the right things into this thing to make it. I think I built a pretty decent car. So hey. What's going on, family? Man, I hope you guys are having an absolutely awesome day. Today, man, we are in Zeus. I hope you guys are having a great December. Christmas is upon us really quickly, coming super fast, man. We got actually some decent weather out here today. I think it's supposed to be up in the 50s today, so I'm on my way home. I decided to drive Zeus to church. On my way home right now, and had something that came across my mind that I wanted to talk about, man. Content creators, I know we find ourselves sometime in that space where, you know, things just happen, man. You be like, man, you know, I would really like to have a conversation about this. I'm sure there's probably other people too who just want to talk about some stuff. But what I was thinking about was, you know, the fact that once I got the X5M, like, I literally drove Zeus literally a few times, and I think there's a few reasons for that, right? One of the reasons for me that happened was because, well, the X5M is just that much fun. It apps and has so many checks in the block for me that I didn't feel like I needed to drive the Vette. The other side of it for me was, and I believe it is that I spent such a long period of time in the car driving it on a regular basis, on a very daily basis, when Liberty first went down. So that led me to ask that question, right? Can you daily drive a C0706? Now, for me, of course, I never got to a point where I was driving it in snow. In an area where weather is pretty consistent, you don't have to worry about really cold weather, I think that super easy to make that decision. In my opinion, I think it's very possible. You can make C706, if it's your only car, a daily driver. The place for me where I felt challenged from it, for me, it was a challenge because it was my short car. We got the wrap on it, we got the wheels on it. You don't want to park next to people. Usually when I park the car, I'm taking up 3 or 4 spaces. I park way out in the middle of the world. When you think about a daily driver, you don't think about having to park way out in the world. You think about being able to park wherever you want, right? Not worry about if something's going to happen to the car. With this car, just leery. Some people know how to respect your car and they take a look in it, look at it and everything, take pictures with it. But some people don't. So you may find people that want to lean on your car, put hands on your car, even sit. Yeah. Even sit on your car when you're not there. And they don't see any problem with that. They think it's okay. Again, that's some privileged folk that don't get it. But outside of that, just the pure functionality, when I went through the experience, I found that it was very dailyable. A couple of reasons. For me, it's comfortable. You can put this thing in touring mode and it literally rides like a sedan. It's comfortable, it's smooth. You don't have all the that very rough ride that you would get in like a track mode, or even in sport mode can be a bit more rough or rugged for your drive. So it makes you feel like you're in something else. I've been having this car for so long. Not long. Let me stop saying so long. I've had this car now for 3 years, and when I sit in it, I don't feel I'm low to the ground when looking over the hood of the car. I don't feel like I'm so low to the ground that I'm sitting on the ground. I feel like I'm just in a car. I feel like I can literally feel like I'm in a sedan until I'm pulled up next to a sedan. Then the reality hits that, yeah, man, you're in a low car, right? That piece of it makes this car, in my opinion, a realistically daily drivable car. It's comfortable, super, super comfortable. Number 2 for me is, believe it or not, and I'm gonna say this, you guys probably ain't gonna even get it, but gas mileage. Yeah, gas mileage. This car has a fuel management system on it that I generally turn off because I don't want it to do it. But it's a functioning solution for gas savings in a big V8. This 6.2 liter V8 makes 650 horsepower with a 1.7 liter supercharger on top of it. Although superchargers make power, forced air also can offer you a level of gas savings. The car doesn't have to work as hard to get what it needs to make the air pump air the way it's supposed to, right? That's all the motor is an air pump. The cylinder deactivation function that come with this car, when you're cruising, this car will shift down and go into 4-cylinder. And when you're cruising on a road that rely on a bunch of stop and go, man, you can get anywhere between 27 and 32 miles to the gallon in this car. It is absolutely nuts how much gas you can save. On a highway, when I'm cruising in this car on the highway with cylinder deactivation on, I average, because of course I'm gonna press the pedal every once in a while, and this is highway driving, I'm averaging, again, somewhere around 30, I'm hitting around 30 miles to the gallon with this car. So if you can be disciplined enough not to press that gas too hard, you can get there and you not have to worry about burning too much gas, and it will save you some gas. Number 3 on that list is what I call the superpower. Although this car can be a great gas saver, it's small, it's short, it's comfortable, and the other side of it is what I'm doing at this moment. You still got the power to get around almost anybody you want. You can have this thing in eco mode. You can have it in touring mode, where it's saving tons of gas. You can have cylinder deactivation happening. But when you push that gas, you are still in a Z06. It will remind you that you are still in a monster. You're still in a beast. The car will accelerate and still give you an opportunity to have a little fun. You're gonna burn more gas, but it still gives you the opportunity to have a little fun in the car, man. Again, it still is a fun car. It sounds good. That's part of the fun part of it. It still sounds good. It still moves. It scoots. It handles like a dream. And it's still a small car. It's wide, but it's still a fairly small car. I mean, with the C7 non-convertible variant, it still gives you an opportunity to take the top off if you want to. So now you still have a fun, economical car, in my opinion. It could still be economical because you could still save the gas, that you can have the top off on the car. It's still comfortable. It's still, you have all the creature comforts. That's the big number 4 for me. Creature comforts. This car has a really good stereo system, Bose stereo system. Good enough for me that I don't feel like I need to add any additional sound to it. It has heated and cooled seats, or ventilated seats. It has an automatic transmission that can be put in manual mode, it allows me to use paddle shifts to enjoy the ride just a little bit differently. It does have storage in the back, right? So there is a decent amount of storage in the back, and if you want to see how this compares up to the C8, click on that card at the top over here, one of these sides. I think it's going to be over here. And I'll show you a video where we did a competition, myself and ICNV. Shout out to my brother. We did a competition to see what vehicle stores the most. Let's just say Zeus won. Right. So you do have a decent amount of storage. If you're going grocery shopping, you can put a decent amount of stuff in here. Now you can't get it. You're not going to get boxes of stuff in here because it's just not that big. And if you're by yourself and you need to put a couple of boxes, you still have the passenger seat. So you can do that. And that takes me to number 5. You can still ride a passenger in a car, right? You still have space for a passenger, only one, but you still have space for a passenger. This car does offer, in my opinion, a lot of things that that in my opinion makes it worthy of a daily driver. I don't generally have a lot of people riding with me. Honestly, I ride by myself most of the time. So I guess when I tell the story about having at least that extra seat, I'm telling it through my lens. And there's some people that may have a family of 3, right? This is not going to be the vehicle for you. I'm an empty nester. My wife and I are empty nesters, should I say. We don't have to worry about little people other than my grandbaby. That's why we have the other vehicles. But this story is not about that. It's about being able to drive or daily drive this car. And I think it's very doable. What do I think are the downsides to daily driving this car? Downsides, depending on the wheels that you have on this car and depending on where you live. If you're fortunate enough to live in an area where you have you don't have really rough roads, you're fine. But if you're in an area like in the Midwest, Illinois area, where the roads can be rough, these wheels can be quite fragile, right? You got to be careful, of course, cautious of that. You don't have a lot of meat on the bone when it comes to these wheels, right? So that's something that you have to consider. Also, in the winter months, right? This thing has a winter setting, which really does a weather setting, which really does a great job at controlling how your throttle responds to conditions outside, so you're not spinning the tires every time you push the gas. I believe that this could be a daily drivable vehicle in the winter as well. You put the right tires on it, I think it'll give you what you need. There's a guy in Michigan that I followed, and he did a video where he did a couple of videos about his 06 Corvette that he loved, liked, and disliked. But what I learned from him is that he daily drove his car. It was the only vehicle that he has, and he drove it year-round. So Michigan, like Illinois, gets snow. And put snow tires on this thing, it's going to do what it needs to do. Now, for those who don't live in the Midwest, don't think that snow is always, 4 feet and, everywhere you go when it snows, right? We have the infrastructure to clear snow, so most of the roads are clear. You got to worry about salt, and you got to worry about ice patches and things like that. With the right tires, you usually are okay. So snow doesn't mean everything. That every time you're driving in snow, you're plowing or pushing snow from in front of you or off the front of your car. That's not always the case. Those are some unique circumstances depending on where you live in the country and how much snow you get at one time. One of the downsides with a lot of supercars is salt. Salt is only a bad thing for the Corvette from traction reasons. Salt, because this thing is fiberglass. I don't have to worry about rust. Can't put a magnet and stick it on the side anywhere on the side of this car because It's all plastic. It's all fiberglass. So it doesn't, either fiberglass or some type of carbon fiber, it's not going to rust, right? Salt for me has always been an issue for traction reasons, not from a rust perspective. So salt is not a downside, but it is not a downside from an erosion perspective or a degradation perspective, but it is an issue from a traction perspective. So that's a downside, right? We have to deal with salt and things like that. I really don't have a lot of negatives, because you can create your own really good circumstance or situation when driving this car on a daily basis. As I mentioned, one of the biggest things that I think folk will probably be leery of is the gas mileage, because it's such a powerful engine, big and powerful engine, and that can be controlled on how you press the pedal and allowing cylinder deactivation to do what it does best. So you can have the best of both worlds. You just got to be willing to not have the discipline, not to press the pedal. I think probably the gas mileage would be the biggest deterrent to someone. Now, does the Z06, when you think about, having a Corvette as a daily driver, you don't have to actually go Z06, right? Even if you decide to go with it, if you want to go with if you really do desire and like the wide body variant of the Corvette, then yeah, Grand Sport Z06. Grand Sport being not having the supercharger, not as much horsepower still yet. In my opinion, it is the best bang for your buck from C7 Z06 platform. It is the best. Track, street, regular driving, it's the best. Z06, Z01, I think those things they're overpowered for most cases, honestly. That's just my opinion. This is not a great track car in my opinion. I think that this car is overpowered. You have to drive it, because you will spin out, I promise you. But the Grand Sport gives you the best of both worlds. And then if you don't care about the wide body variant, then you can go with a Stingray. I think these cars can be daily driven. Tell me, what do you think? Would you daily drive a C7 Corvette? Would you daily drive any Corvette? I think that the C8 is probably a better choice, because I think they have a lot more technology to make sure that you maintain traction under all type of conditions. Traction's not bad in the C7. It's better in the C8. And then also, C8 also has the E-Ray, which is an all-wheel drive version with electrification. Better option for the snow, possibly. For really, really cold weather. I don't know. Would you daily drive a C8? Would you daily drive a Corvette as a whole? Leave it in the comments. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what will be your major concern when it comes to daily driving a Corvette, or honestly any supercar. What do you believe is a better daily drivable supercar? I would love to hear that. This dude, man, I tell you, we do not use turn signals. But anyway, I don't want to make that part of it. I would love to hear your opinions. Tell me what you think about daily driving a Corvette. Anyone. And if not a Corvette, give me your thoughts on what you think is a better option for a daily drivable supercar. I have one in mind, and I think is one of the better daily. I got a couple in my head that I will consider better, a really good dailyable supercars. Leave them in the comments below, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. I appreciate this, and yeah. Y'all know how we do, man. We don't do no normal around here. Oh, sir, why is that? Man, because we were designed from greatness. And guys, because we were designed for greatness, you have the right and the responsibility to never be average. So guys, don't be average. Yeah. Man, that was cool. That was cool. But anyway.